Hey, how's it going? What's up, everybody? It's Ronnie G, and we back for another mentor session. It is a Wednesday afternoon. I hope everything is going well for you. If it's not, it always gets better. With this mentorship webinar, we're going to be covering five things. So, I'm going to go over the overall market. I'm also going to go over the Google big drop. All right. And then I'm going to go over my PE position. That's an energy company that I decided to trade a couple weeks ago. And I'm still holding that position. That is a long-term trend trade. And then I'm going to talk about watch lists, and then I'm going to open it up for Q&A. Um, and we'll go ahead and get started with the overall market. So, with the overall market, you have the S&P 500. With the S&P 500, it it did drop. It did drop today. It wasn't a super big drop, but um 22 points, I guess you can say that's a big drop. But like I said, the closer you get to resistance or a breakout, there's going to be a lot of selling going on. And if you don't know that, now you know. So what happened? Like what happened right here? It's seen some resistance, and I like to demonstrate. I have my lines drawn out before I even open up the webinar. But now I like to kind of demonstrate the resistance point, and when it rose up in price, you can see where it has some resistance right there, and it started to fall. Now, is that a market sentiment to where, like, is that related to news? I wouldn't say it was a big thing with news. I would say that with those big companies like Google dropping, you would expect the index that calculates those big companies, you would expect that index to drop when one of the biggest companies that it calculates um, drops in price. So Google dropped. Um, everyone's pretty much like, dang, like what happened? Honestly, I haven't looked into it. I just have not. I've, I pay attention to the news. I'm more of a technical trader, and I do some fundamental things too. But uh, there's there's just a lot of things that can go in behind that. For one, it could have been the earnings report that people didn't like, but I have to scan the news. But I just want to clarify and highlight that this is one of the biggest companies in the world. So that being said, it does affect the market. It's these big companies that hold up the market. Small companies do too, but on a larger scale, Google is an international company, so it's going to have a bigger effect when it comes to how it plays out in the market. And it's going to affect your trading for the short term or long term traders out there. And when I say long term traders, I'm talking about those who hold for weeks to months. And Yeah, it just affects it. So there was a big gap down, and I'll go ahead and zoom in on that. There was a big gap down. It was trading at almost 1300, and now it's back in the 1100s. It's at 1173.32 cents, and earnings report just came out not too long ago. So there could be some relative news that leaked out. I'm not sure. If y'all do, go ahead and comment. I'm just being honest with you. I haven't looked into it deeply. I just read the articles. Like I said, I'm a technical trader. And I really just pay attention to charts, and I do pay attention to news, and I do look into SEC filings. But with Google, I don't trade Google, so I didn't look into it at all. I just know that it affects the overall market. Now, with that being said, I've already stated in my previous webinar 2 weeks ago that I expected a drop. Now, maybe when I said that, y'all were looking at me crazy, but I seen that it was getting real close to resistance. I also seen The Dow doing the same thing, and it's at resistance and it's struggling to move past it. So I do expect a drop. Now, how significant would that drop be? I don't know. Like I can't predict it 100%. It's just that my probability is like, all right, it's getting close to resistance. If it doesn't break out the first day, it's going to fall. And if it falls, expect it to reach a previous support, all right, or previous old resistance, which is now support. So you have a couple right here, and I'm finding the top of the lines, the top of the mountains. I want to use that terminology. The top of the mountains, the top of the mountain. I'm just finding the top of the mountains. When this falls, it can support that and pop back up. It can bounce off, pop back up. It can do that, but that's my speculation. I'm already in a position. I'm in currently in PE right now. This is an energy company, and I got into this a couple of weeks ago. And when I got into it on what day did I take this position? I've I traded this. I want to say traded it on the 12th of April, and this was the 12th of April. I bought the breakout, and it rolled up pretty nice. And a lot of people were wondering, like, Ronnie, why didn't you sell? Like, it went up 12%. Because I'm in it for the trend. I'm in it for the whole trend. Now, this does start to get my attention that it did drop. I said it was going to drop before it started dropping. And it started dropping, as you can see the green candlesticks. Yes, I do have reverse colors. So up is red and down is green. But it dropped under here. It dropped under $19, and now it stopped at the SMA 50. So the 50-day moving average is acting as a support as well, and that's why when you do trend trading or swing trading at that, you want to have some simple moving averages or exponential moving averages, and those things are going to help you as far as support and resistance and buy signals. So that's what's supporting. So it broke past this. It caught my attention, but I'm like, okay, if it breaks right past the SMA, it may just hit my stop. But I'm not too concerned. My stop is 18. Where did I put my stop at? My stop is currently at 1893. So it is getting close to my stop. Tomorrow it may hit it. Hoping that it doesn't, but that is my 3% threshold. Now, do I think this thing can keep rising up? I really think it can, but I'm gonna stick heavily to my rules, and I'm going to allow the SMA to work. If it gets close, it doesn't hit it. Yes, I'll be glad. But if it hits it and it gets me out, I'll be happy as well. So that being said, I'm going to see what it does tomorrow in pre-market. If in pre-market it's not doing too well, then obviously I'm going to allow my stop to take place, and that's just what it is. I set my stop 3% below the breakout line, which is now it was the old support. It was the old resistance, and now it's the new support. That's what I meant. So I'm hoping that it goes up, but if it doesn't, stopped out, and that's just it. I'll choose another position. I'll take my loss. I believe that's probably going to be a $300 loss, right? And that's fine with me. Having extra money to play with, and then that's my PE position. Now my sentiment on it that it will go up, and I believe that this is the beginning of a trend. So, with that being said, my sentiment is still good. I'm still bullish with the stock. So, I was planning to buy more shares when it starts to rally up. So, if it does rally up, I will consider buying more shares, as I stated in the chat room. Now, if it don't go up and it starts me out, heck, no, I ain't buying no more shares. If it goes up, I'm just not. I'm done with it. Uh, you know, I'm just done with it. But let's go on to the next thing. So, what's next on the list is the watch list. So, going down my watch list, there is plenty of stocks that have opportunities to start new trends like DNR. I've traded DNR before. I've made like 3 grand on here. I traded DNR several times, and it made a double bottom pattern, and now it's obviously trending back down. Maybe that has a lot to do with the Google. Google's an international company. Google is tied to so many sectors. With that being said, like just bad apple, one bad apple affects all the other rest of the fruit, and that's just what it is. Now, this passed the SMA 50, and I'm a little concerned with the stock. So I don't know if this stock is going to remain on my watch list. I may look to cancel it out, but that's just my sentiment. This is a mid cap company. Now with the BTE, this stock is still obviously still in play. It hasn't went under its SMA line, the golden line. So I'm still like, okay, it's still dropping, and then you can probably buy the dip when it starts to rally up and base out, go sideways. I'll look to buy. PE, we went over that one. That's the one I'm currently in. This one is another one that's looking like it's starting a trend. I'm still waiting for a more defined rally. It is right back at its support. So let me zoom in this way. All right. So if this thing can base out, start trading sideways, I'll look to buy and wait for the rally to happen. That's my sentiment. Now, a question. So I get like, all right, how do you know when to buy or what's your signal? My signal is when it hits the support, or you find a support, or the stock creates a support. What does the support look like? It looks like this. Uh, it can go sideways for a little bit and then go up. It can start trading like this, going up and down. You got a candlestick right here. You got a candlestick right there. And then I'll look to buy when it's like trading sideways, set my stop. Then when it rallies up, boom, that's when you're like, okay, it's trending. Or you can take your profits if you're swing trading. So I like to buy the dip. I like to buy the base out of the dip, or the breakout. And then if I'm buying breakouts, I'm holding for the trend. I don't like buying breakouts on the swings. I only like buying the dips on any swing play that I ever do. Some of these stocks are not too good. I'm taking this one out. This one may continue to do some good things. I'm not really too fond of it, just because that I feel like if this doesn't rally right here, it's going to continue to make lower lows, and I'm not for that. And obviously, you can see some trend happening right now, and that may be very wide, but being realistic here, I'm looking for the trend right now. I'm looking to trend trade. It's less stressful, and that's what I'm doing right now. This is still good. This is still in the base out period. And with this base out period, it may rise above this, and then I'll probably look to trade from there, um, and then hold for the trend. But if not, I scratch it. I don't do too much stressing over it. Now, if you find something that's really nicely based out like this all across the board for years, stock companies probably pretty boring, not a lot of movement. But if it does break out, it can be very, very, very rewarding, because the stock used to trade in the 200s, and I have my alert right here. My alert is set for 22. Oh no, it's set for $31.95. If this thing can break past that, this year of support, this year of stage one, years of stage one. I mean, all the way back in 2016, 3 years of stage one. If he can break out, that's very rewarding. So I'm going to keep that on my watch. This as well. This used to trade very weird, and then it started, going down. If this can break out, I will go ahead and set an alert here. Bear with me. All right, and then now if it breaks out, same sentiment as the other one. Very, very, very rewarding. Like it can play out. All right. This is pretty much sideways. I did see something, but this is not a very rewarding stock, and it is a real estate. This one, it could be rewarding, and it could trend up. And I will say that a base is right here, a base of support over the years. This is the history. It could start to trade above. Right now, by the way, I'm on a 5-year, 1-day chart. I keep all the 2-year, 3-year daily charts, 1 year, 9-month day, and then I have some hourly charts for entries because I'm doing trend trading. If you're doing swing trading, you will have a lot more hourly charts so you can examine. And um, NMRK, the Newmark Group Incorporation, that one as well. I will continue to look at this. This is a buy opportunity right now. If it can cross that golden line, I would take it as buy opportunity. So this one is really hot on the list as well. The volume days are not too big, but this thing doesn't take a lot of volume to move. I am kind of skeptical on the volume, but hey, like it's it's stock market, and it's a low price stock. So this right here is a small cap. So small cap market. Let's look at the index of the small cap market, which is the Russell 2000 IWM. And yeah, so this is struggling to continue to move and get back within this trend between the year of 2017 and 2018 before it dropped last year in the fourth quarter. Now we'll see what that does. Dip and dab in the small cap, but focus on mid cap, large cap right now. Those do very well with the trend. Now, at the moment, if you have any questions about this video, and if you're watching this video, obviously you are a student, you are a member. I don't like to say students. We're all members. We all help each other trade. Um, if you're a member, you can question me about this. You can ask questions. Send me an email. You can get in the group chat, preferably the group chat, and ask questions. You can create a post. You can get in the trading chat room, and you can question me about this. If not, then thank you for your time. Thank you for watching this video. I like to keep my videos short and simple, and straight to the point because attention span is very, very scarce. So, all right. Thank y'all for joining. I hope you enjoyed it. Like I said, if you got questions, hit me up. Peace out.